Hi class, I wanted to give you some video feedback. I'm going to look at these as a first-time site visitor. I'm going to be looking at the layout, the navigation, functionality. So let's just jump right in. All right, I recognize this template. What you'll need to do for sure is put the Real Deal Taco logo in the header, right? And delete these icons. You have it down here. We don't want to crop logos. Okay, we can take, all right, that works. Let's make your header not quite so deep. Okay, let's grab that handle and raise it so that we can get into this quicker without scrolling. You didn't really need this. What you do need is a location page, however. So you may have to rename that location and take all this content out and put that location information there. I like the way this looks. However, when it's all caps, it's difficult to read. So we have to make that upper lower and typically left align. Whenever we have this many lines, it becomes a paragraph and it's easier for people to read left align. Okay, good job here. You have changed the names of things, so that's an issue. Okay, and you do need to have the ingredients. The cost isn't the same. You've got some pictures, but you don't have the actual content that the client gave you, so that needs to be worked out. Also, it is not in Atlanta. All right, so I know this tells me that AI was used for writing. And students tend to score much lower when they do that because AI does make huge mistakes. It's not going to misspell anything, but it is going to throw in its own content, which would be very bad for a client that's in San Diego to say that they're in Atlanta when they're not. And that happens in a few places like this. Okay. Also, by the way, okay, maybe it's not this one. Okay, well, let's move forward. The contact will go on the outside, right on the very end. You will drag that. Here we have Atlanta again, and we have the name of the company misspelled. So we want to work that out. And we don't have workshops. Okay, I see you have events. Okay, maybe that's okay, but we're not really set up for that. So this would be set up as an event so that you can use that content but not book anything. So take this out. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you have for your revision. Great start. All right, Katie, good. You have everything here that you need. I know that logo isn't quite perfect, is it? It's not a perfect circle. Let's see. Great job with your icons. Interesting. And we're linking to the menu. That's good. Good job. And the contrast is good. Let's close that up. Good. Nice job wrapping text. Okay, good job here. You might close it up just a little bit, but it's good. You know, it's not bad at all. I wouldn't even, yeah, I probably would bother. Just a little, just one line. Okay. So I like your collapsible. Might kind of come up a little higher so we don't have all that space, but terrific. Great job. And linked up. Well done. Nice work. Don't really see a lot of changes that are needed here. Maybe close out a little. And everything looks good. Well done. Isabella, nice. Good branding. colors are right. And this comes to your contact page. Okay, it doesn't have a map here, so I would probably remove that. Also, we don't have a way to get back. That navigation is going to be critical. So you're going to want to move this into your header, so it's always there, for sure. Okay. Good job. Maybe you stack these or put at least one more image there so we have some balance. Okay. Yeah, that's really the main thing. You might raise that, or you can pop in a picture from the web. You can delete some of this for sure. You can edit that. Be careful, we've got run-ons, words that are pushed together, and we have spaces. So that, I think, will have to be re-entered, all right? Okay, so again, we have the issue here. Take this content out and put just the location information. You may have to remove this app that has your ordering. You might have to go in and just remove that whole application and add a new page. Okay, and you do that in your pages and menu, that green icon, and at the top right, there's an add a page, and you would just add a, going to add a blank page and call it location. But it's a great start, it's looking good. The main thing is that navigation. Be careful not to clip or crop. I know it's tricky, but don't crop the logos. All right, we need to have the logo in the header, okay? I feel like, let's see. Okay, I would go ahead and delete these for now. When you get to web design, we will be talking about accessibility for your site for sure. Try not to have a flyout for your menu. Let's go ahead and put it in the header, so it's less clicking to find what we need. Okay. Oh. Okay. Might bring this content up a little bit. It's a little to the left. I would center it if you're going to do that. Keep it left aligned, but move the whole column over a little bit. All right. Yeah, you have tacos here, but we're not seeing it as we land here. So just move this up here and close this space up, that strip. Make sure you read everything. Let's see. And we did that. All right. You do want higher contrast here for your lettering. And we need a contact page. So again, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Wix, and you're going to, when you open your site, you'll want to, in some cases, you're going to delete a page if you have an app that you don't need. You can see that here. I might want to delete an app. It could be a booking page, anything like that. And let's say I don't have a contact page. Pretend we don't have one. Then we're going to go up here, we're going to add a page and add a contact. If you need to, you can add that page and it will show up right there at the end. Maybe you need to put a locations page in there. Rename it. I chose blank so that I could do whatever. This was the first one. Let's just remove it. So I made this is the new one, and I can come up here, use this, and add some content, right? And you want to be really careful because you don't want to add anything, okay, that you have to take out, and all these images have to come out. So maybe some text, that would be fine for locations. Maybe you want 2 columns. Maybe you want a list like that. Okay. All right, so those are some options for you. Let's see, where were we? Okay. All right, so great start. A few tweaks and you should be good. All right. Okay, let's make sure we update our copyright year at the bottom and that we link to the client content and take off any placeholder. Let's move this so it's not overlapping anything, and the spelling is incorrect, so double check that. The menu. Okay, so this is a deep header. So far it's okay, but we do need the other content. All right, like real ingredients. Delete the requests and reservations. Remember, if you go into your pages and menu, in the first column, you'll find that there's a reservations page. Delete that application so it can come out. All this placeholder has to come out. There is no reservations, so contact will need to land right here. You probably want to just remove this page and add a contact page the way I just showed you. Delete all of that. You need locations. Okay, so a little more work to finish things out. A couple of sweeping changes and you should be good. Okay, here you want to make sure you have the logo in the header. Make sure you check the spelling of the name. This isn't easy to read, right? It's not enough contrast. I recommend not having a flyout menu, and this flyout menu, for example, has green on green. I can see when I scroll over it, there's something there, a button, but I can't read it. Could be it'll pop up later, but that would be too late. Okay, a blog. Okay, take this out. I'm not sure what else we have. Update this, copyright. I think update that, take out that. It's possible that you used an AI because it's missing a lot of things. That isn't the story for Real Deal Taco. That page is not useful. It's empty. Okay, you've put everything on the home page. Okay. Break up, look at everything you've entered here. I would make that blue. It's not at least put blue somewhere because that's, the client's brand. You have to re-edit this because we have line breaks. You can remove some of it, but you need to be selective about that. Okay, you have the menu here. Okay. So you need a menu button that links to this. There'll be an anchor in here. You can look at the troubleshooting video that's under announcements, but it might be easier for you to just create new pages and copy this information and put it on the page. So you would come over here and create a new page called, you could make it blank if you want, and call it menu, but you won't make it all caps. And then you could add things. You could come down here and add restaurant. You only want a menu. You don't want any kind of apps or anything, but you could add a menu, just the menu. Okay. This is what it brings up for this template. And then you would add in all of your descriptions. If you really get stuck, then I recommend just starting over with this particular template, sugar and spice. It's just easier to work with because it puts everything on a separate page. Once you have it all on a single page, you've got to make sure you're linking up correctly from your navigation menu. So you would have to learn how to do that in that video I provide, but or you can add new pages and remove strips that haven't completed yet anyway. All right, next, Real Deal Tacos. Nice, I like the fish. And if anybody wants to, while you're in here, you can take off the wicks here, secured by wicks. And avoid underlining because that just makes us feel like we're going to a link, and we don't want to do that. Okay. Link up to the client. This, you want to have it be a simpler font, easier to read. It could be something like that. Railway. This is Arial now, but Railway would be easy to read. And like I said, go ahead and make that 2026 while you're in there. Okay. Okay, I recognize that as being the client's content. That's good. Really good. Okay. Good job. I know this part takes time. So you've done a great job sorting that out. Okay. All right. Okay. Use the same font for all your headings. Okay. You're going to link up. This is easier to read, this font, which is Ebener. Okay. And that you probably don't need. All right. This is a great start. You do need, well, you have it here. Okay. All right. You probably can make that bigger, but just adjust the other things first. You've put some time in, so good work there. Okay. All right. All right, so they don't have an interior. I guess that could be a food truck. It's big. Avoid glassware because the food truck only has, doesn't use glassware or have table settings and things. Let's see. Remove these. Just select it and delete it. Okay. Good job. Except for the glassware, looking good. Yeah, thing to remember is that when the client gives you anything at all, especially for their menu, we have to use exactly what they give us, right? And an online order is fine, but it wasn't requested. What was requested is locations And so that we have to have. All right. Okay. So details are important when you're working with the client. Next, probably put that on one line because eventually it might look like they're stacking when you get another heading up here. Let's make sure everything is centered. This actually needs to go in your header. Good job linking up. Good. I recognize the content. Let's not underline that. Break the link. All right. You want to make sure you're using the client's ingredients. Let's take that out, which you have here. Okay. Fish tacos. Okay. Let's see. Usually what happens when I notice that, and this one hasn't done it, but when I notice that a menu is incorrect, it's because they've used AI. And AI has made up things, and those students unfortunately lose points because it doesn't have the correct content. Okay, so you have that, which is what you needed. Let's take this out because it's just placeholder. All right. Everything is there. Okay. Yeah, probably don't need this. Once you get this up here, you probably won't need that page. You can land right here. All right. All right. Great job. I think I've looked at everybody in this section. So kudos. Just make a bulleted list of everything you need to do. You will probably be asked to submit that with your revision. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with next week. You're just so close. What an amazing job you've done in such a short period of time. Well done. If you have any questions, reach out through the assignment. That's the best way. If you have to request an extension, that's where you want to do it. So that when I go to grade, I see your request. Really important. We're going into week 4 and things are changing where your grades are due to registrar 5 days earlier. And that means instructors don't have the luxury of allowing late submissions week 4. We always discouraged it, but now we really, there's just no way. We have to block out that weekend for sure. And the latest that you can turn something in should be Thursday of week 4. Okay, so that it can be graded because it then has to go off to registrars to get your grades posted. All right, everybody. Thank you. Have a great weekend and contact me with any questions whatsoever.